today's topic and the sort of our topic theme for this month is the smart way to buy on-demand merch. And on-demand is becoming more and more and more popular in our industry. And with me today to help me talk about this topic is one of our preferred partners, Mike Durazano from Sock 101. And we're going to talk about more than socks. First and foremost, Mike, thanks for being here. Again, we're talking about on-demand merch. You guys have some cool on-demand products. I'm curious, from your perspective, what's driving the move to on-demand merch? Why do you think customers are asking for that more often?
So customers are asking for it, in my opinion. Basically, they want something that's more customizable, and they don't want to always have to fight minimum orders and warehousing inventory. That can be like a very big deterrent if they want to do something fun and cool and they get hit with a 25, 50, or 100 piece minimum. That can be a very big deterrent in order for them to get there, because they don't know how quickly they're going to get there, but they want to, be able to offer things.
Yeah, there's no doubt. Yeah, they're wanting more flexibility and they want less commitment, at least for certain needs. One of the things I want to say up front, when we say on demand, or when we say that, the topic is the smart way to buy on demand merch, that really just means single piece minimums. You can buy one as a minimum quantity. And in most cases, you're not paying setup. Sometimes you will kind of upfront one time. And it's sort of like to get the, for lack of a better way to say it, program set up, and then you can buy one at a time going forward with no additional setup. So some topics we're going to kind of run through. One is we're saying total customization. So what, in other words, why do we care about on-demand merch? What are the benefits of doing on-demand minimum quantity one type merch? One is we talk about total customization. Mike mentioned no inventory, kind of doing the perfect gift for an individual person or use case, like not a one-size-fits-all kind of approach. And finally, talking through, we'll wrap up and give Mike an opportunity to talk about some of the items that Sock 101 offers. Obviously, they have socks with minimum orders and some experiences that they do. So first, let's talk about total customization, what we mean by that. When we say on-demand merch, total customization, we're talking about like the idea that you can really, if you can do one piece, you can really customize that item for the person or for the use case. I mean, down to the point where it doesn't just have to be a logo. It could be a person's name. It could be something specifically about that person. Would you agree with that?
Yeah. So we can personalize it with the names, jersey numbers, any goals on there. One of the good use cases we see is as recognition gifts. Instead of having a trophy on somebody's desk, sending them, a unique pair of shoes that kind of encapsulates, a crowning achievement, a retirement, a send off into their new life. You're able to get really, really customized again, just at that one pair minimum, because everything is made for that one pair.
Yeah. Go ahead, and if you would, Mike, share your website, because I think that might be because it's like, okay, let's talk specifically really quick before I move too much forward, the items or item categories that Sock 101 specifically offers on demand. Shoes being one of them. And you do shoes in a couple ways. You do the shoes that are sort of generic styles that you all offer. And then you also offer where people could send in retail shoes and have them customized, right?
Yeah. So let me share my screen real quick for you guys. So at Sock 101, we started with socks, but we realized no one's walking out their front door in just socks. So we wanted to step into the shoe game as well. So we have about 18.
No pun intended.
No pun intended. There's no puns over here at Sock. So we have about 18 silhouettes that we do on shoes, all modeled after the retail brands everybody knows and loves. And everything we do on the shoes is included in the customization options and the one pair minimums. So this is our newest shoe. It's becoming one of our more popular shoes right now, which is the Chief. And we're able to get fully customized.
Wow.
Everything you see on the shoe can change. Some other options. Everyone knows the Hey Dudes. We have our Yo Bro version.
Yo Bro. I love it.
So again, no puns at Sock 101. But because everything is made to order and it's all custom,
really quick, my friend-in-law loves Hey Dudes, like loves them. And now that I didn't even realize you had a Yo Bro. I got to get him a pair of Yo Bros and I got to customize them for him. That's a perfect use case.
Yeah. So our custom shoes, everything is made and printed flat, and then we sew it all together. That's how we're able to do all this full customization. But we know there's people out there that love their name brands. Hey, before I joined Sock 101, I was a Nike guy through and through.
Before you move on, will you do me a quick favor? Will you click pricing so that they can see like what a single pair of this particular shoe would cost? And then really quick, that $50 fee would be just that one time as part of a program, right? And then they would pay the $88.46 for one pair.
Yep. So That setup fee, that is for initial designs. So the initial design of an order, if you're putting it into a program or a store, or you're ordering the same thing on demand, that's a one-time fee, and then it's no longer there. Then you just be paying the one pair price. If there's a little bit of extra customization in there, then it's just the one-time fee for the initial, and then a smaller fee for any personalization. Say we're just changing a name or a number or initials.
And you guys offer customization support, meaning, mock-up support. So, like, if someone's interested, your team will help us to design the shoes, and then lead time is what, about 4 weeks? Is that
Yeah, 4 weeks is the average lead time for us. Sometimes it's
okay?
3, sometimes it's 5, but four
Gotcha.
weeks is a really good barometer.
Good average. Okay. All right. You can keep going where you were going, but yeah, just so people have that information.
Yeah, so for those people that love their Nikes, love their Adidas, we introduced Branded by Sock 101, which is where we will take in your retail branded shoes and we will apply different heat transfer patches to them. These patches are going to be located on the sidewall of the shoes, and it's just a way for you to put your brand and have it associated with the retail giants Nike, Adidas, On Cloud, and Vans. Anything you're looking for, we're able to do that. And again, that is a one pair or a one piece minimum for those as well.
So everything I'm seeing on screen right here is a patch. It's not, none of that's printed. It's all some kind of heat applied patch.
Yep. So most of the time, it's going to be a direct-to-film patch that offers usually the best application for shoes. There's a couple of materials and fabrics out there that some other patches work a little better, but for the most part, and if you don't specify, it's going to be a direct-to-film patch.
Gotcha. Is there any information? I assume this would just be kind of a quoted thing. So for example, somebody wanted to do, a dozen pairs of Nike Dunks for their team for a trade show. That might be a great use case. And hey, it's great. We love the fact that Sock 101's got standard, shoes. And by the way, actually, let me back up. I want you in a second to talk about how you do sampling, because I'm sure that with shoes, people are going to want to see them, try them on, and whatever. They want to buy these Dunks. They can buy them, order them. We would ship them to you, and you guys would quote what it would look like for you to decorate those in whatever way they want.
Yep. So on the branded stuff, on the retail brands, we still do mock-ups for those. So if you know the shoe you're looking for, you'd send us over those website links, and we'll be able to pull the images and do our virtual mock-ups that way. For sampling, the greatest thing about having one pair minimums and on demand is that we can do samples very easily. If you want to just take a shoe, if you just need a shoe in hand to make sure, our custom shoes are good and they're stable, we can send out randomly decorated samples. So you can do all you want to do. You can bend it, you can squish it, everything I've seen people do with a pair of shoes. Or we can do spec samples as well, where we can, with that one pair minimum, it's easy for us to make that first shoe in your preferred design with your logos, with your branding, with your, customization in there.
Yeah, that's awesome. So, okay, so we talked about total customization as being a benefit of on-demand merch, and obviously, we're very specifically focusing on the shoes that Sock 101 has. Now, there's other. Before I go on to kind of talking a little bit more about the benefit of no inventory, what's the other item or items that you all have? I mean, the shoes are, obvious on demand. I think tote bags or something. What else do you guys have on demand?
Yeah, so we have a few more on-demand options. He's back up on the screen. So we have a couple of fuzzy blankets that we can do that are fully dye subbed on one side, and then fleece or plush on the inside. Our tote bag is one of our most popular one pair, one piece items to go into any stores or programs, mainly because this is one of those one size fits all. You don't have to worry about sizing. This is
Yeah.
crowd favorite everywhere we go. They see our tote bag. It's sturdy. It's heavy duty.
So is that full color graphics all over and then put together, kind of like the shoes?
Yep. So it's printed flat, sewn together. You can do variable data. So one side can have one design, and then the back side can have a different design as well.
Okay, variable data. Say what that means real quick, but I bet there's some people who don't know.
Yeah. So variable data, that means that it has a couple of meanings. And in this case, with this being like a front and back portion of a bag, the front side can have one design, the back side can have a second design. Also, variable data can mean having a main design and then personalization on there as well. So say for Transalt, or say better yet for Iowa, say they were doing this for one of the sports teams. they could have, the Iowa logo and then number 14
Uh,
on here
okay.
and have it changed out.
Yeah. So that's an interesting spin. I mean, obviously you can do high levels of customization when doing a minimum of one, but within a run with things like variable data, you can also personalize it like Mike's. It could be names, it could be numbers, it could be probably departments or something like that. Cool. Yeah, awesome.
Yeah. So tote bags, bucket hats are really popular right now. They're coming back into fashion. So, again, variable data on this with our reversible bucket hat, you can have two different designs that are interchangeable and you flip it out. And then for the big products that we do, we have floating coolers. So these floating coolers are very fun. People absolutely love them. They
I
float
got
in,
to get one of those for my
they,
pool. Yeah.
they keep your drinks cold, and they're just really, really nice. So we have the Oyster. This one holds 20 cans. And then we have our original clam cooler. This one holds 58 of your favorite.
58 cans.
58 cans.
That is a long day in the pool. I'm just saying that would be in a lot of ways. All right. Awesome. No, this is great. So again, kind of running through the topics generally about on-demand merch, the benefit of being able to totally customize things. No inventory is excellent. Also a benefit as far as like, obviously we don't have to keep inventory for you. You don't have to hold inventory. But talk a little bit about sometimes, and this is where I want you specifically to speak about SOC 101, because one of the challenges with on-demand is that sometimes you run into inventory issues, so when you don't have it either in your facility, our facility, or a third-party facility for that matter, you can, like when you go to want that one piece, it's sometimes going to take a little bit longer. Sometimes it's not available. Talk a little bit about how you all manage inventory so that you can make sure that things are available when people need them on demand.
Yes, that's always the hesitation when it comes to on demand is, what if there's an inventory issue? Luckily for SOC 101, outside of our floating coolers, everything is made to order. So we've hardly ever run into any inventory issues like that. Occasionally, if you have some size 15 feet, I know we sometimes run out of those soles, but with the way that we manufacture and produce our products, everything is made from the factory level at the time of order. So there isn't we're not pulling from stock. We're not printing on already made shoes. We're not waiting for shipments to come in to be able to produce your orders. Everything is getting made from the time the order comes in and the proofs get approved. That's when it gets to the factory and they produce the orders right there.
So the upshot of this is the way this stuff happens for the most part is it's being built to order, and that's because and so what that means is that we don't have to worry too much about inventory in this case because it's being made to order. And then probably the only challenge in this case, and it's not even really a huge challenge, is just the lead time, being planning on that 3 to 5 week window. So it does take a little bit of planning up front if you're going to want to use products from SOC 101 or really any of our other partners. I would say most partners that offer on-demand merch are going to be somewhere in that, I'd say 2 to 5 week turnaround range. Now, some of the other on-demand partners we have might have a little bit more of an inventory risk because they are holding product on hand and decorating at the time of order. But in this case, not much of a concern with SOC 101 because they're making it to order. Give me an example of, the next benefit we talked about was kind of being able to do the perfect gift and not a one size fits all. We've alluded to that already, but what's an example of a time when you guys, SOC 101, created a gift that really, was really cool and really landed because of the flexibility of on demand?
So we see it a lot on like I was saying before, on the shoe side of things. People see the shoes as like something unique and custom. So it's used a lot as like a thank you gift. I know we're coming up on the holidays, so a lot of my customers, I know Landon included, likes to send out the shoes just as like a thank you to top customers where he can say, hey, appreciate your business, just thinking of you. Here's a cool pair of shoes for you to wear into the new year. We do this for, high level corporations. We do this for musicians, comedians. There's a very famous comedian currently on tour that an arena is getting him a thank you pair of shoes. I don't know if I'm at liberty to say who it is, but I think he just had a movie come out on Netflix. So it's just so we just have there's a lot of cool things that I see come across our plates where it's not something that I would initially think a pair of shoes would go, but people love to bring cool footwear out there. It's also that new thing that I know, Landon, your customers are always asking you, hey, what's new, what's different? And being 44 going on 45 in this industry for 20 plus years, there's not a whole lot of new out there. And shoes is kind of that last frontier.
I'm going to send you a pair of shoes to thank you for reminding me of my age. I think I know a
You
guy.
brought it up earlier, so I
I
thought it was
did.
fair.
I
Yeah.
did. I like it. I think again, it's thinking outside the box and like thinking about ways to. I mean, for example, the thing that comes to mind for me is ways that you could use the shoes and take advantage of very specific designs to a person. Is like the things that a person likes. So if you're sending somebody a pair of shoes and, it can have your logo and branding on it, but you could also, if you know a little bit about the person, like maybe a team they're a fan of or a sport they're a fan of, some kind of hobby they're into, or the next thing you know, and that's kind of what, you see a lot of these people out there now that are painting shoes. That's all over the place now. Guys and gals in professional sports wearing cleats and shoes that have been custom painted for them, and it's going to be not only their number, but it's going to be like things that are specific about their personality, things they like, or organizations they want to support. Like I think baseball, not necessarily exactly the same, but baseball, like over the last, they gave those guys, the players, the opportunity to like have custom bats and stuff. So you saw like bats that look like pencils and, all this kind of stuff. So customization, I think, and the ability to highly customize things to an individual or to a use case is not only kind of popular in our industry, but it seems like it's becoming more popular culturally.
Yeah, people are wanting to showcase more of who they are these days and not be so, not conform so much to society. They want to put their personal brand, put their personal spin on what they're wearing, what they're showing, and what they're doing in this world.
Let's give you an opportunity, kind of the last topic here, and this is where I'm going to get a little more specific to SOC 101. Talk a little bit about, you also offer a lot of things that are not on demand, socks being one of them. Take a second if you want. Talk a little bit about that and the experiences that you all offer as well.
Yeah, so, like our name, SOC 101 suggests, one of the other things that we do is socks. So our socks, they're not part of our one pair MOQs. So they're going to start at 50 pairs for your standard dress and athletic socks. Everything we do on the sock side of things is woven. So there's a very starch difference quality wise between our socks and some of our competitors that are going to send you printed or sublimated socks. So if you want the high quality socks, you're going to come to us for that. And the socks they're a great addition to doing shoes. I know today's focus has been a lot on one pair MOQs, but if you are outfitting a team, if you are, buying shoes in bulk, then, let's look at socks as well. If you tell Landon that like, hey, we want to do 50 or 100 pairs of shoes, and he lets me know that, you're going to get mock-ups with socks as well, because they
Yeah.
just go very much hand in hand. So we do everything from dress and athletic socks, um, midi socks. This right now is very popular if you're out there and working with high schoolers, colleges, young professionals. These midi socks are definitely what is
Yeah.
very on trend right now. We have some specialty socks as well. These are going to carry a slightly higher minimum, anywhere from 100 to 250. But for those use cases out there, we have wool socks, which are top of the line wool socks, perfect for all 4 seasons. Fuzzy socks, this is, for the holiday season, very much in line with something that employees love to get in their holiday boxes, is a nice pair of fuzzy socks to warm up uh, during the winter time. And then my favorite sock is our stash pocket sock. So this is a sock, very fun, that comes with a built-in sewn-in pocket that for those little holiday boxes, for those kits that you're doing, having a little pocket to uh, put something else in there to kit it together is something that's really fun.
Probably very appropriate for our Kentucky audience with a Four Roses bottle.
Yeah, it's almost like I had my marketing team do a little something extra
Yeah.
for this one.
I like that. Yeah. Yeah, no,
So
it's good. Go ahead. Yeah.
yeah, so those are, our socks, and uh, it's just really, those are really fun use cases. But going back to shoes, I know one of the biggest issues and things people run into with shoes is sizing. So we have a couple of things that we can do on site for you. We can take this customization directly to your hands, and also the sizing as well. So we do on site events. The first one being a shoe fitting, where we'll come out to your event, to your sales meeting, to your holiday party, to your fundraiser, whatever it may be, with a size run of shoes, and that way everybody on site can get fit perfectly for the shoes that they're ordering. And it's something that we can take off of your plates of gathering sizes and then having to worry about any exchanges. Hey, these run too small, these run too big,
Yeah.
and all of that. So If you
Now
already know
that
your
really
size,
quick, those experiences, just a couple little housekeeping notes on that. If anybody was interested in one of these experiences he's talking about, we'll talk about here, they would reach out to us. We would work with you to sort of create, how that's going to be priced, and then your team would sort of execute on that on our behalf. And these shoes would be the ones that are going to be decorated with kind of on-site like heat transfers, not I guess they could potentially be printed as well, but right, I mean, they would mostly be the transfers because of the sizing thing. Is that right? Rather than the full color printed.
yeah. So for our shoe fitting, what happens is we come out with the size run of the shoes, and then everybody at the event is trying on these shoes to size. We collect that information, and then we produce the shoes fully custom after the event, and they get delivered 4 to 5 weeks
Got it. Okay.
later.
All right. Good to know. Yeah.
So the other things that we do are shoe bars, sock bars, bucket hats, and tote bags. So this is where the customization really gets brought to you. So we'll come out to your event with the shoes or the socks or whatever already pre-made, and then a whole bunch of different patches that you can choose from, and then we'll decorate it live on site. So we start with a base design for socks or shoes, have a whole bunch of fun different patches that are available, and then we'll be able to heat transfer them right on site. And this is where you get to take
Dude,
home
that's cool.
a fully
Yeah.
custom pair of shoes.
I hadn't actually watched that. I'm like kind of disappointed. I hadn't watched that. So that's cool. I appreciate you showing this video because I'm sure that helps a ton. People watching.
Yeah, so these are super fun. All of our on-site events and activities carries a 100-person minimum. So once you meet that
Yeah, it
minimum,
makes sense.
reach out to Landon. We'll work up a quote for you, and we'll turn your next event into something that your employees, your customers, your friends aren't going to forget.
Yeah, they're not inexpensive to do experiences and event experiences like this. A cool option. So again, in summary, like these experiences, you would reach out to us. We'd work with the SOC 101 team to sort of scope that out, price it, and then figure out all the logistics on that. All right, we're coming down the home stretch here. We talked about just the ability to totally customize, having no inventory, being able to do the perfect gift for person use case. And then, Mike talked a little bit more specifically about SOC 101 and some of the things that they have that are not on demand. Mike, I want to thank you for doing this. I thank you for your time. We'd love any feedback that you have for us. Reach out to us. You can visit our website is goodsonsupplyco.com, GOODSONSUPPLYCO.com. You can go there and see obviously about our company. You can see previous jobs that we've done. You can see previous partner series that we've done, as well as a podcast that I have called The Brand Herald, which I'd love for you to listen to. And you can go to SOC101.com to learn more about, their offering. And please reach out to your contact here at Goodson, or just reach out to us through the website if we can work on anything that you've seen here, talk to you about on-demand merch, get you samples, or get a call set up with Mike. So, Mike, thanks again for being here. You got I'll give you an opportunity. Any last words here?
I just want to thank you for having me. Always happy to help you and assist you with whatever I can.